Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. My name is Hailey Rowe, and I'm a sales and marketing coach and LinkedIn lead generation service provider. I work with health, life, and mindset coaches and online service-based business owners to help them get more sales, shift their time to the client-generating activities instead of just the busy work, and overcome that social media overwhelm. Let's get into the show. I have a new free gift for you. It's my free time management system. And this is something that you're going to actually be able to stick with. It's nothing too fancy. It's not going to require spreadsheets. And it's basically teaching you how to love your calendar, how to plan your week and prioritize the result producing activities, how to prevent procrastination and keep getting better and better at time management with my 5 reflection questions you can use weekly. And it's what I personally used when I was juggling so many side jobs when I was first growing my business. So I can't wait to share it with you. It's at haileyrowe.com/time planning. It's all one word. And if you need the direct link or you can't find it, just feel free to DM me at Hailey_Rowe, mention the time management system, and I will get you the exact link. All right, let's get into the show. Hey, I am live today with Chris Wilson, and he is the VP of content for, what was it called? Benchmark?
Critical Bench.
Critical Bench. And we're going to be talking today about content do's and don'ts, how to channel your addictive personality, if you have one, into your business. And what brings Chris here, I'll let him share his story and his journey in this fitness industry. Why don't you start there?
Well, that's a big, wide open question. I could talk on that for the rest of the day. Let's see. I'll give you the really short version. In the late 90s, when I graduated college, I started working for box gyms and world gyms up in the Northeast as a trainer and guy behind the desk, and just really enjoyed the atmosphere. Really had gotten into lifting weights and training and getting strong, high school and college for sports and stuff. And wasn't at all my focus in college in terms of education. My focus was in communications, but which has benefited me at this stage of my life for sure. But I was getting into just that world of physical activity and fitness and maximizing or optimizing your health, and loved being in that environment in face-to-face training situations with clients. And I just found that people to be very interesting and the relationships there. And then just grew surrounding myself with people much smarter than me, which I think is one of the more important things, to try and be the dumbest guy in the room whenever you can be, because that's really where you grow. And I did grow quite a bit over the years. And I would say over like a 10-year period, worked at various capacities, working with people, one-on-one settings in different places, and eventually became a GM of a fitness tennis center, oversaw all training that went on there, and maintained my own clientele. Loved that for years. And then it was just time, the right time for me to move into a different arena in this world of fitness and health, and that was the online space. So after 15 years of working face-to-face in brick and mortar situations, I joined one of my oldest friends from high school who had this website company called Critical Bench, where he was selling, when it started in the late 90s, bench press programs to help people increase their bench. But the company certainly evolved into more of just an overall strength building and health product resource with a huge email reach and list. And so he was fully online, helping people improve their lives with simple problem solution type products. And I came on board as a content provider, writing content, filming videos, and helping in that capacity. And then I just continued to grow over this last 10 years, where I'm the VP of content, overseeing all content in the company, all products, customer support, YouTube channels, podcasts. And it's so much fun. And
Nice.
I really love my work, and I'm happy every day I get to come in and to do my work. And so I
That's
think it's
amazing.
a great place to be.
Absolutely. Yes. You can't ask for more than that. And one of the things I want to highlight there is this sounds like one of the OGs in like
Yes.
online business fitness.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit, given that, you've probably evolved the content a lot throughout the years, what would you say is working really well for your company right now when it comes to getting more visibility, and specifically what kind of content is really going well for you right now?
Sure. Um, uh, there's lots of ways I could go there. I think number one is to take complex or complicated things and really simplify them so that people can very easily work them into their lives. Everyone is really short on time these days, very busy, very stressed. The world seems filled with anxiety, and people are not investing enough time in their health, in their longevity. But if they can at least do something good for themselves in 10 or 15 short minutes, that can have a ripple effect in your life. And so that's probably one of our number one advantages in what we do here at Critical Bench, is taking real issues, real problems that people have in their health, in their fitness, and giving them simplistic, beginner level, easy to use, easy to implement solutions, and to take with them in their lives, to feel better, to move better, to look better, all of those
Nice.
things. And I think secondly, on top of that, is to maintain a certain level of consistency at whatever you're doing. So when I talk about our company and what we do, it's grinding. And it's like, once you start on something, it's sticking with it and seeing it through and keep plugging away. And I think so many people, we are a shiny object. We will go after something for maybe a year, maybe two, probably not three, because we're just not seeing the results we want yet. But honestly, you got to be willing to go 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years before you really start seeing the fruits. And I think people are just, everyone wants everything tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't work. I mean, not for anything that's really good or worth having. The quick fixes and these flash in the pan type, businesses and things, they come and they go. And we like sustainability.
Yes, absolutely. And I love the way you answered that question as a content person, because notice people, he did not say, oh, you got to get on TikTok, or you got to do the latest trend with blah, blah, blah song. Like, your answer were the two principles of consistency and valuable, simple content. So I want to ask you, what is an example of something that went really well as far as like simplifying something in your content? Can you give maybe an example of what you really mean by that?
Sure. So a program that we developed several years ago that we are still having great success with, because we have remarketed it and optimized it constantly. Something, just because it's older doesn't mean it's not still good if you can find new ways to market it and to put it out there for people. So we have a program that helps people get out of pain in their hips and to improve mobility through their hips and get out of pain, right? And so this was kind of the first of its kind in a lot of ways, because this program took an area of the body that's largely abused and misused, the hips, from all of the sitting that we do as a society. And when we put together, we got with a guy, an injury specialist, and said, what's like 10 things that people could do in their own home with no equipment that will help them, if they do it regularly, help them move better, feel better, get out of pain. And we developed this like quick 10-minute routine. And then we just have modeled that since. It's almost like everything since then has been kind of a version of that for different parts of the body, different, issues, health issues that people have. So we don't like Band-Aid fixes. We like real, dig down deep, get the root out, fixes, things that, it's not like a pill popping type thing. It's more of a get down in the trenches and really fix your body. And I think because we came at this with the right approach, really genuinely trying to fix people, but how easily, how simply can we do this? People are not going to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars. At least most people will not. They will not spend, 10 hours a week or more doing something, but they will spend, 10 minutes a day or every other day doing something. And so much of what's out there is much more complex and much more for the advanced and I'm not knocking some of these other like P90Xs type things and the Tony Horton stuff and the Insanity. You remember all these big things that did very well, but who are they reaching? They're reaching people that are already physically like getting after it. Most of them. Very challenging, very intimidating, very like, I don't know if I have an hour every day to invest in this. I just want to move better. I just want to look a little bit better. I just want to feel a little bit better. And so we were like, well, let's just give them something to start with, and then they can go follow the breadcrumbs to something bigger down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And I think what you're saying is part of what the value equation really is, which is how can you get somebody to the outcome, which is no more hip pain, in the simplest, least amount of steps, most doable way, and have a perceived likelihood that they're going to be successful with it. So like if it is something really extreme, they're going to see that and be like, as you said, intimidated, like that's not going to work for me. So I love how you break it down. And one of the things I want to ask you about as well is when it comes to content, I know you mentioned you guys have a YouTube channel. So tell me more about what's been some things that have been going well with that, or things you've learned through setting that up. Tell me a little more about that.
Well, it's a great way, obviously, to reach people, and it's a different platform than all these other ones, right? They're all have their own unique qualities, Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff. YouTube's kind of its own animal, requires a great deal of consistency. It's really got to be a long play. It's not something that you're going to see overnight success with. At least 999 out of 1,000 people, they need to, really have a plan in place and go after it, expecting it to be, kind of a long-term thing, but it can really work in your favor down the line, because I think compared to all these other platforms, YouTube has, when you have a YouTube channel, it goes beyond, I think, just like an Instagram page or TikTok or whatever. Like YouTube, it has a different type of authority when it comes to longer form video content. And one of my number one things when I started here for Critical Bench and creating content was to put up one video every single day. We had probably 4,000 subscribers on our very small YouTube channel at the time in 2013. And one of my number one things, one video every single day, and just keep grinding. Mike was like, I don't care what you make it about. It just needs to be something related to our content, a workout, an exercise, coaching somebody, nutrition, whatever. And so we're grinders. And for 7 years straight, we uploaded one video every single day on our main channel. It has almost 1.1 million subscribers.
Wow.
Our secondary channel, it will probably hit 100,000 subscribers later this year. And then we also have a third channel for our podcast, Strong by Design, that we decided after uploading a lot of podcast content to those other two channels for years, we said, let's just have a podcast only channel. So we started that as well about 1.5 years ago. So all of them continue to get lots of content. We have currently 10 videos going. Actually, if you add all three, 13 videos going up a week across 3
Nice.
channels. So
Mm-hmm.
it's having a plan, having things scheduled out in advance, knowing how to attack a filming day and properly getting, like, you can make one filming day for a whole month of content.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think if more people approached it the right way, because you could take a longer form YouTube video and chop it and make shorts out of that long form video, and you can get some stories and some other short form IG content out of that. You can get a TikTok out of that. So it's just having that plan. And I'm not saying anything new. A lot of other online businesses like us do very similar. They will spend one day filming, and that gives them one full month of content. And we are close to that now. We're down to like a couple of days a month where we have people come in, because we have contributors that come to create for us.
Amazing. Yeah, a couple things just for listeners who want to dive more into how to improve your content. In my Inner Circle program with my clients, we have a guest speaker specifically on content repurposing and how you can turn one idea into like 8 or 9 different posts. And it is kind of breaking down that long form thing, taking a quote out of it, taking a video, etc., telling a story about one of the tangents you go on in the video. Like, there's a lot of ways you can really milk content. Yeah. And I think the other thing is, if you guys want to check out my free content roadmap, you can comment content below and I'll send it to you. But we had a guest in the past about video marketing in particular. I think it was haileyrowe.com/video-marketing. And she talks about YouTube marketing in particular. So if you're curious about that, you can dive deeper. But Chris, bringing it back to this whole, how do you actually drive people to take action from your content? So it's one thing to do a video every day, be consistent with it, put it out there, plan it. What have you guys found that works as far as like actually saying, hey guys, go do this thing now, or buy this thing, or what's the next step? How do you tie that in?
That's one of the hardest things that we've tried so many different ways with our calls to action over the years. And different things have worked at different times. Some things that did work don't work. Some things that didn't used to work now, so be it. I think number one, and you said it earlier, you said the V word, value. If right away in your content, if you are answering a question or immediately engaging why that person clicked on your video, so they know they've landed on the right thing, and you are instantly providing value to that person, you've already made a friend, so to speak, right? Or you've already established credibility. So know, like, and trust should always be your number one goal with any content that you put out there, that you're actually trying to make someone else's life better by providing value. Then in a not super salesy way, but in a very like almost matter of fact type way, you say, hey, by the way, in the link in the description, if you liked this workout or something and you want something similar, or you want to go deeper, I actually have workout sheets that you could download, or I have another, say it's a video opt-in. If people listening know what an opt-in is, it's a squeeze page, it's a landing page, it's a link that people click that takes them somewhere where maybe you're collecting an email, but you're giving away a free resource of some kind. But that free resource would also eventually probably lead to a product down the line. And so I think it's again, breadcrumbs. It's like, you're not tricking anybody. You're giving away, give away the farm, give away as much as you can and provide insane amount of value, or other people will say over deliver. So you're just filling them with so much free that eventually they just are like, well, if this is what's free, I have to see what maybe I can pay for, because I really like this person. I like their intelligence, or I like their energy, or I like their physique and I want to look like them, or whatever it is. But it's coming at it the most genuine way at the start, is that you are trying to reach someone and provide value and help them. And I think if more people had that approach, they would have every bit of success that they could possibly want. Because when your heart's in the right place and you're passionate, it comes through the video. People will feel it immediately. They'll see that you're like really trying to help them, and they'll like that. And so then like I said, the call to action just becomes more of a matter of fact. And hey, if you like this, I have more for you down here, and to let them know that on a consistent, consistently throughout your content, whether that's early or midway through, and again at the end, kind of just reinforcing it. So
yeah, love that. And then when it comes to doing the daily videos, or you're giving a lot of value and it's great, obviously it might get some shares, or people might be like, you got to check this guy out. But I want to ask you, if you're new and you don't have a following yet, but you are posting every day and you feel like it's, I'm posting, but I feel like hardly anybody's seeing it.
yes.
What would you say to somebody dealing with that, as far as is there anything else they should be doing or could be doing to grow the views?
It's a great question, and a common issue that people face. There's people probably that make great content, but no one sees it, right? It's like somebody writes a great book, but no one's there to market it. So no one ever reads this great book. It just sits on a shelf collecting dust. It happens with good video content as well. I think a key thing is collaboration and networking. I mean, that's the one huge turnaround in our company. Before I started working here full time, I was just kind of doing some contract work here and there for Mike. This is back in like 07, 08 is when he started to rub shoulders with other people in the online space, in the fitness and health area. And sure enough, they helped each other. It wasn't like the pie is only so big that we all get a little piece of it. It's like once you start connecting with other people, the pie just grows, and there's plenty for everybody to have success. So I would say for anybody who's new, creating good content but not getting the eyeballs, you need to put in a little bit of extra work in finding other people to collaborate with, or to share your stuff, or to get on their platform so that you can put your name out there on someone else's bigger platform. This is what a lot of the bigger YouTubers did back in the day. Like locally, I don't know if you've ever heard of Elliot Hulse, but Elliot was on the Hodge Twins channel, I think, and that's what helped really launch him. And then he became kind of overnight almost like a number one YouTuber, and had like, millions of followers. And so sometimes it's just being on the right on the right channel, or knowing the right person, because that does matter. And
Totally.
So put those feelers out. Go to people's contact pages who on channels that you really like, and just start reaching out, and someone will get back to you if you're diligent and really pound the pavement and send a lot of emails to people, or reaching out messages through Instagram and stuff like that. You will hear back from somebody, and that one person might know two other people that could also help you. But then what you should be doing is looking for ways to help them.
Yeah.
How can I help you in your business? And then when they like you, they will want to help you. It kind of is reciprocated.
Yeah, always leading with what's in it for them. And I can say a true testament. This week I got to interview Amy Porterfield, and I was very excited about that. She's very big in the online marketing world, and her team found me somehow and was like, yeah, we're doing the book launch, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this is the power of consistency, because I'm very big on collaborations, and automatically it's like your audience can double because you're with another person. They share it to their audience, you share it to your audience. So it's now in the numbers, Chris, this podcast you're being on right now, you guys could share it with your audience. I share it with my audience. So it's like automatic doubling of audience. So definitely it takes a village instead of you just always by yourself. And I think it is good to collaborate. So really good tips there. Where can people connect with you and the company?
Sure. There's lots of, if you just type Critical Bench into any platform, you'll find us. Instagram at The Critical Bench. YouTube, just look up Critical Bench or Critical Bench Compound, which is the name of our gym. I point over there because although you can't see my thumb pointing that way, the gym is outside my office. And Also, our podcast is Strong by Design. The Strong by Design podcast, we've had almost 5 years, and I just love it. I get to host a lot of the episodes and manage the show. And it's such a great, talk about collaboration. Podcasting is one of the best forms of connecting with somebody, having meaningful conversations that other people can continue to enjoy for weeks, months, and years to come. And so everyone wins. So
Absolutely.
It's good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming. And for those of you who are looking into getting into podcasting, I did a training that's free about how to attract clients using podcasting. So if you want that, you could comment podcast training or something, and we'll get it to you, and we'll probably put it in the show notes. But Chris, thank you so much for coming, and I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this podcast. And if it's really helpful for you, I'd really appreciate if you share it and or leave a written podcast review. This tells the podcast sites that our show is useful, and it will be promoted to more people that way. Thanks again.